We're talking about love today. Love is God. So I wanted to start with, actually Spirit asked me to start this service, and we have two simple themes that Spirit would like conveyed. So it may be very simple, but you'll get something out of it. I trust that. Okay. So in our world, we roam around like this beautiful puzzle piece. We're so unique, so different from every other person, and we roam around looking for, first of all, someone that could love and that could kind of help us make it on the planet. So most of the times we look for a mate. We look for that partner that's going to walk with us. And so we're roaming around, and we find this person, and they're like, oh my God, so wonderful. And do you see how they actually connect with us so beautifully, and they fulfill all of this energy on the one side of our lives. And when we stay there, connected to one another, do you see that we still have 4 areas that are still roaming empty? And for most of us in the world, we're taught to kind of just hang to this other piece. Just hold on to the piece. Just hold on to the piece. And that creates kind of stress on the system, because we're really not designed that way. So my assistants will arrive. So, what really happens in the world is we are absolutely unique. But we do like to have that one person that we can relate to on an intimate level. And then we ask, what about the rest of my stuff? And so we find something or someone that can hold the energy. Oh, yes, that's so lovely and so nice. And then this one goes, oh my God, what do they have that I don't have? And so then they find their other little puzzle pieces, and oh, it's so nice now. They're getting all tucked up, and then they're connected over here. And so now we have support around the puzzle pieces, and then we find the edges. And we realize that, actually, the puzzle does have an edge. We are all part of a whole. And when we find our place in the whole, we are supported, are we not? And just imagine, if you will, all the puzzle pieces above and all the puzzle pieces below, creating a beautiful circle. Now, do you not feel that the 2 inner pieces that we started with are now warm and happy? Do you not feel that they can now rely on more than just each other? Okay. So now we're going to let our family and friends go. Thank you, guys. So, now we're back to the 2 pieces. Some pieces like to walk alone. Some pieces like to walk together. But the reality is everybody fits in the puzzle, whether you want to realize it or not. And did you realize that when the family was around us, we did not lose our uniqueness? We only lost our boundaries. We lost that sense of isolation. But our uniqueness, our shape, was still the same. Love is designed. We are a part of a design of love. We are a part of a design of love. We are pieces of a whole. And we live in this space. But we have absolutely the right and consciousness to say, oh no, I shall be all alone now. I shall not, even though the pieces are next to me, I shall not connect with them. I shall isolate myself, and I shall act as if this is all there is. Anybody know that one?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. So, what Spirit said was this. When we begin to realize we are a part of a whole, we can begin to understand the meaning of love. We know it when we feel it, but how do we define it? We know it when we feel it, don't we? But how do we define it? Dr. Fillmore said that love was gravity. That's how he defined it. It's like a gravity that pulls you to the place where you belong. I think that was an interesting definition. It pulls you to go to the right house. It pulls you to go sleep in the bed that you have instead of the bed next door at the neighbor's. It pulls you to go where there is resonance, where you belong. Spirit says that love is a vibrational frequency that keeps us together and lets us forget that we have separate, unique shapes for a moment. It holds us in a togetherness and in a oneness. It doesn't erase our uniqueness, but it lets us feel oneness for the moment. Okay. When we look at love in the text of what Jesus taught, Jesus teaches that love is always all-inclusive, all-encompassing, and all-accepting. There's a scripture that he says, God sends his rain and his sunshine to fall on the just and the unjust. He doesn't say you deserve rain and you do not. God sends his rain to all people. Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. And the word perfect in the original Aramaic meant inclusive. Be as inclusive of the world as your Father in heaven is inclusive. He's raining on everybody. Be inclusive of everybody. Okay? So, Spirit said, love is the all-sustaining substance of the universe. It engulfs us and holds us in place. And yet, how do we know so little about it? If it's the all-sustaining substance of the universe, you would think that we would live for love, wouldn't you? You would think that we would seek to know it every moment of every day. That would be our main goal. What is your goal today? To love, to find love, to touch love, to be love. It's the all-sustaining substance of the universe. Of course that's what I want. No. I want to do a good job at work. I want to get off early. I want to go play a little bit. You know, we have so many other goals in our lives that we just don't look at love in that way. So, in our human love, we come together and we create a bigger world. So when we bring these two pieces together, see if I can do it again, see if I can be magical here. So piece one and piece two. When we bring it together, now a bigger world is created for both of the pieces, right? So they said, when these pieces come together, they've got this new space. And if they can remember that they are a part of all the other pieces, they can still access the love that surrounds them. When we forget that we're a part of all of the other pieces, we move into a space of challenge. And when we forget, and it's just the two of us, are your needs going to be met? No, your needs aren't going to be met if the only person you're looking at is a spouse, mate, or partner. Are your needs met, people, when you're looking to a spouse, mate, or partner?
No.
No! They are not. Thank you, Patrick. They are not met because we're not designed to do that. So what happens is when we completely isolate, our needs are not met, then we begin to pull away from each other. And this piece goes, well, you, and this piece goes, well, you, and then we have, instead of beautiful love, we have the boundaries becoming more defined. Instead of flowing into one another like we could, we pull away. And that which was once lovely, loving, and exchange becomes separate. Although matching pieces, they become separate. So Spirit said, remembering the whole, I wish I could have drawn the whole circle for you, but it would have required many pieces.
Congregation.
Yeah, the congregation. Remembering the whole helps us in our place. I am in my right and perfect place in the whole. I can know that. I can also say I am supported and sustained in my right and perfect place. The weight is not on me. I am no longer a weight-bearing piece. How many want to volunteer to be the one piece of wood that holds up the whole building? No, we really don't want that, do we? We want to be a part of a structure that's sustained through our equal efforts. So, I am supplied and sustained and loved, and I am supplied and sustained and loved by all when I remember the whole. So, when we forget the whole, we forget the connection, and love becomes non-inclusive. And if love is inclusive, and we are in a non-inclusive space, we have just stepped out of the awareness of love. And if we've stepped out of the awareness, how much are we going to consciously draw into our world? Not a lot. Okay. They said, maybe a key is to look at everyone as a child of God. Even if you look at everyone as a child of God, you can see the puzzle in your mind. It's easier to call someone brother when they agree with you. But when they don't agree with you, it's easy to say, And what I would offer to you is a picture in your minds. If you could imagine the circle of the puzzle circle, and imagine there's someone coming to you that doesn't fit with your particular piece. In your mind, just see that they're way off on the edge over there. They're still in the puzzle. We don't have to take them off the earth. We don't have to forbid them to breathe our air. You know? We don't have to condemn them because of their folly. We can just visualize, well, that brother of mine may be on the edge way over there. Yeah? But he's holding up his puzzle piece, and somehow his life is helping me, and my life is helping him in a way that we are all sustaining this world together. And if we can start thinking that way, then we don't have to be non-inclusive to our fellow man. But back to the two people, you know, this is where we're so good at non-inclusiveness here, right in the home front, right where people are important to us. And if you're not with a mate, and I pick on them today because they're the easiest ones. It could be a boss, it could be a friend, it could be a coworker. It could be anyone that you feel intimate with, that you feel like that you care and you support each other. Like I can pick up the phone and call them and they will listen to me. It could be that. When we move into this, we're walking out of love. So Spirit said this. When we move into isolation in a relationship that continues, this is a continued relationship, but the isolation is beginning, the first thing that we look for is to, if I'm not going to get your love, I'm going to get your power. And we start to get the power of our puzzle piece friend. Why do we do that? Because love is the greatest power. And if we can't get your love, we're going to go for power. When you feel loved, what do you feel but empowered? When you feel love, you're empowered, you're strong, you can do anything. And when love pulls away from you, you still need to feel that powerful, don't you? So you begin to grab the power from your partner. Okay, say, I never do that. Yes, you do. So, here's the deal. We confuse power for love. We do it all the time. Because of that, separating, going back and forth, we confuse power for love with love. So, love empowers us, but it also nurtures, blesses, sustains, and fills us with contentment and peace. Now that's not all powerful, is it? Peace and contentment, those are states of bliss. Love is much more than power. Love has everything in it. But we'll always go for power. We don't look at our partner, okay, I'm not feeling love from you, okay, I need to feel some bliss now. Let's get some peace going. We don't do that. We say, let's get some power going. Instead of, let's just try a different way. Try a different way. God is love, and love is God. That was the name of the service this morning. Love is God. Very rarely do we say anything definitive like that about God. Love is God. God is love. Love is God. God is love. Therefore, when I am truly loving, am I not expressing God? Am I not expressing the essence of what God is? If I am loving the puppy dog, I am loving anyone, anything, I'm expressing God. And God is flowing through me. God is all-inclusive, accepting. If we didn't look at the powers of the world and looked at the love in our hearts, how would we live differently? Our days would go upside down. We wouldn't seek to achieve what we seek to achieve, most of us. Because we're trying to chase numbers, we're trying to chase money, we're trying to get our needs met, we're trying to do the numbers game. I don't care what you're doing, there is a numbers game underneath it, because that's how our society functions. We need money, 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 pay bills, get things, money, money, money. What if we didn't do that? And that, in essence, is a power-based system. You guys know that. So what if we went for a love-based system instead? What if we went daily and said, I just want to experience God's love flowing through me with my fellow man, with my significant other, with my family and friends today. For a minute. For a minute. For a minute. There's a bunch of yeah buts that would come up within you. Well, I don't have a minute. Because you might start with your morning, take a breath, have your coffee. Yeah, God, hey, what's happening? maybe do your quick meditation, but then your agenda starts. You got to do this and this and this and this, and this and this and this and this, and this and this and this and this. And when you do not have time, guess what happens to you? You do not have time. If you live with the energy that I don't have time, even if you absolutely have an hour, there's something else for you to do. It just comes in. Because you don't have time. And then staying in the numbers game keeps you out of seeking the love of God. Do you understand? Okay. God is all-inclusive, sustains and supports. Love is the greatest power, but power isn't love. You guys getting that? Mm-hmm. Love is the greatest power, but power isn't love. Power can be many things. But love, when love expresses as power, it is the strongest, greatest power there is. When love expresses that way. So if we really start looking for love and being sustained. So, God is love. When I love, I'm in God. I am sustained in my right and perfect place. All the support the universe has for me is there. When I'm feeling my edges and feeling that I'm not connected with the whole any longer, if I go for power, I'm stepping away from that which I really want, which is love. In our many, many years of work, even this, I don't have to go back too far. Let's go 2 weeks ago, maybe. We take sessions during the week, and that generates income for the church so we can pay expenses and stuff. So, and the income that we receive on that is substantial. And I won't say required, but it is part of the budget. So, I was booked with clients 1 week, not too long ago, and guess who started canceling? All of my clients. Like lots of them. Like a great percentage of them. And I said, okay, God, you got us. And you know what? I know that there's something else I need to be doing instead of that. So I'm yours. I'm your girl, God. Whatever you need me to do, I'm here to do it. And I know finances are going to come because I'm in my right and perfect place. And we never miss a lick. We never miss a lick. Somebody shows up with something. Something happens. There's a big day in the bookstore. Who knows what happens? But the flow comes and we are sustained. And do I sit and twiddle my thumbs during those hours where I don't have clients? Oh no, Bonnie has work for me to do. There's a project over here. Something's happening over there. And I would not have been available for any of that had I been doing my clients. I mean, we live and move in a space where you should never doubt God. The ability of the life force to move through you when you are looking to act in alignment with love. Looking to act in alignment with love. And your idea goes from numbers to sustenance. Yes, I need numbers, I need money, but let me not call it that. Let me call it God's sustenance. Ooh, I like that better. I want to be sustained by the unlimited, ever-flowing, always available sustenance of God. Yeah. Do you feel the difference? And you see how now we're drawing and magnetically calling forth the love of God to sustain us versus having to earn the numbers to sustain us. And the world shifts. And the world shifts. God is love and love is God. So, I've marked a bunch of things in the aquarium where Jesus is talking about God is love, God is wisdom, God is Father. You have to love God, to worship God with your heart, not with your actions. You know, you can't do good, you have to love. You have to move into space of love. You don't earn God, you love God. It's oneness. We're in this whole. And I would just know they're there. I invite you to read it on your own. Just look up love and look up the chapters and really get into it. Let your heart open, because you'll find the ones that speak to you. But what I want to say to you today is the idea of changing one thing in your life changes your reality. You know that we're metaphysicians. Change one thing, your world will change, because the relationship changes with everything. Could we try to incorporate the idea of loving God, getting God love in our consciousness daily, somehow. Somehow. One thing, change one thing. One thing. Maybe you go out and just bless your car. Maybe you walk to your car every day and I'm gonna make this my one thing. I'm gonna go stand by my car. Everybody drives, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna stand by my car and I'm gonna say, God, I ask that your love surround my car today, that it be beautiful, that it be safe, that it emit love to the world, and that it function amazingly. What if you did that every day? We're now calling forth God love consciously in our world into matter. It would not only bless your car, but it would do something within you. It would start striking a chord within you to vibrate to that space. And then when the boss says, you didn't make your numbers. God bless my car, though. Yeah, wait a minute. I got God with me. God, my boss is upset. Didn't make my numbers. What should I do? And God might say, well, do this, that, or the other, or I got you. Don't worry about it. But you're starting to get your mind thinking that you live in the all-sustaining space of God love. I have a client, and I know she won't mind me sharing this with you. She is a workout girl, but she's also does sales type of work as well. And when she's bucking up to work out, or when she's bucking up for her day, and she's bucking up for her day, you know what I mean when I say that, getting prepared. She has 2 songs. And if she's going to work out, she plays one song to get her all jazzed. And if she's going to sell, she plays another song every day to get herself jazzed. Because that's her putting on her mantle of, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. And both of them have a very spiritual connotation. They're, victories and ease and support and God. It's a very powerful thing. And I thought, wow, you do that every morning? She goes, yep. Because I need to set an intention. I need the cells of my body to start vibrating to what I'm choosing to accomplish. I mean, I would advise you to get a God song going. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? But get a God something going where you're moving toward love consciously. One change. One change. What do you think about that? I live and move and have my being in this beautiful ocean of God love. How does that sound?
Beautiful.
All right, let's anchor this. Let's go with it. Take a breath. Father, Mother God, we ask that you are with us consciously, and we ask that this room is now filled with your peace. And I would invite each one of you to create a beautiful column of light that engulfs you. And then just imagine that you can lift up that column of light just a little bit until you can just see a beautiful color just swirling around you. And I want you just to imagine that you can see a puzzle piece that represents your life. Let that puzzle piece just appear in front of you. Just imagine it in, image it in. Accept what you see, do not edit it. And it may look very strange. There may be many, many needs to have someone connect. There may be many cutouts and odd-looking things. And now I want you to let the vision open and see how that puzzle piece fits into a bigger picture. Notice the color of your piece, notice the energy of the piece as it vibrates with the bigger picture. And now see the picture get bigger and bigger until your piece is small. And feel the warmth and the connectedness of the picture you now see. Feel the peace that you are not alone. And just become aware of the love of God that just floods the entire picture. These are my children. And feel the peace of that love. And now track back down, getting smaller again so you can see your piece, individual, still connected. You can see the piece, the shape, the size. And I want you to send gratitude to that shape of your life. Thank you for fitting so beautifully. Thank you for doing what you need to do. And now take a breath and breathe the puzzle piece into your heart. Just in your heart say God. I now open to the sustaining life force. And I ask that your love move through me as it is all around her. And just feel the energy that you're held in. Now, feel it going to the core of the energy field, to your mind and your heart. God love. And I'm a part. Feel your heart beginning to shine. Now we're going to breathe and let our hearts open. We're going to let the light go forward, irradiating. And just gently bring your awareness back into your chair, back into this space. Before you open your eyes, I want you to feel your energy field. God love. Gently open your eyes. And I want you to look at the person on either side of you. And I want you to realize they hold a space in your world. And because they are here, your life is blessed. Say yay, God. Yay, God.